𝙬𝙗𝙨𝙚𝙨 phone buzzed, another notification, another 1,000 likes. She smiled, exhausted but exhilarated. She glanced at the clock, 3 a.m. The life of an influencer was a whirlwind, but it was hers. Just a few more photos to edit, and then she could crash. The apartment hummed with the quiet energy of a city that never slept. 𝙬𝙗 sipped her lukewarm coffee, the city lights blurring into a kaleidoscope of colors outside her window. Her reflection stared back from the darkened glass. A young woman on the brink of something big. She had worked tirelessly for this, poured her heart and soul into building her online empire. A wave of fatigue washed over her. 𝙬𝙗 pushed back from her desk, stretching her stiff muscles. She needed a break. Glancing at the overflowing notifications, she silenced her phone. The world could wait. Right now, she craved the silence of her own thoughts, a moment of peace before the online frenzy resumed. Below, the city pulsed with a life of its own, oblivious to her exhaustion, her dreams. Stepping out onto her balcony, she took a deep breath of the cool night air. And somewhere out there, hidden in the anonymity of the city, a pair of eyes watched her every move. He watched her from across the street, Jimin. His eyes, dark and intense, followed her every move through the lens of his camera. The coffee shop she frequented, the gym she visited, the route she took home every night. His obsession had blossomed slowly, a seed of admiration that taken root and grown into something darker, something all-consumed. He clashed the camera tighter, his knuckles white. Her image flickered on the small screen, a digital ghost dancing in his palm. Each stolen photograph, each surreptitiously recorded video brought him a perverse sense of intimacy. He was a ghost in her life, a silent observer, privy to her most unguarded moments, and tonight he would be closer than ever before. Jimin's gaze drifted upwards towards the sleek lines of her apartment building. He has been watching it for weeks, memorizing the security guards round it, the patterns of her other residents. Tonight there was a flaw in the system, a vulnerability he intended to exploit. A small, almost imperceptible smile played on his lips. Tonight was the night he would finally bridge the distance between them. He was a predator, patient and calculating, and 𝙬𝙗 in her blissful ignorance was his prey. His eyes glittered in the darkness, reflecting the streetlights like shards of obsidian. 𝙬𝙗 yawned, exhaustion tugging at her eyelids. She really needed to get some sleep. Her gaze swept over her apartment, checking the locks one last time. She had always been meticulous about security, especially living alone in such a big city. Her eyes lingered on the monitor, displaying the feed from her security cameras. There was a flickering image from the camera positioned outside her front door. Strange, she didn't recall seeing that before. Must be a loose connection, she thought, dismissing it with a tired sigh. She would have it checked tomorrow. Right now, sleep was a more pressing concern. She turned away from the monitor, unaware of the danger lurking just outside her door. The flickering image on the screen wasn't a loose connection, but the deliberate handiwork of someone who had been watching her, waiting for the opportunity to slip past her defenses. The click of the lock breaking was barely audible. Swallowed by the symphony of city sound, Jimin slipped 𝙬𝙗's apartment, a ghost in the darkness. He moved with practiced ease, his footsteps silent on the hardwood floor. He paused, breathing in the scent of her perfume lingering in the air. It was intoxicating, addictive. Years of obsessive observation had given him an intimate knowledge of her space, her habits. His gaze swept over the room, taking in the carefully curated details of her life. The plush throw draped over the sofa, the stack of books on the coffee table, the framed photographs on the mantelpiece. Each object whispered her name, a testament to the life she had built, the life he craved to be a part of. He withdrew his camera from his pocket, the lens glinting faintly in the dim light. He wanted to capture everything, to imprint this moment in his memory forever. The click of the shutter was the only sound that dared to break the side. A silent testament to his transgression. He was in her sanctuary now, her most private space, and she, oblivious to his presence, was just beyond that door, lost in the embrace of sleep. Smirking at her delicate figure, he approached her just to hover on top of her. He removed few strands of her hairs which were blocking his view. Jimin, I'll never let you go. I insanely love you. You're mine. Only mine.